Let me ask you a question. What do you do when the world doesn't applaud you, when the people you trusted most walk away, when nothing seems to be working in your favor, when the mountain refuses to move? Do you crumble, do you retreat, or do you rise, because in that moment, in the center of your trial, your reaction to adversity becomes the blueprint for your destiny? Strength is not developed in times of comfort. It is forged in fire. It is summoned not when things go right, but when everything goes wrong and you still decide to stand. The man who becomes strong in any situation is not the one who has avoided hardship, but the one who has wrestled with it and refused to let it break him. You see, every man or woman who ever accomplished anything worth while had to pass through the valley of struggle. It is the price of greatness. It is the tuition of destiny. No one becomes exceptional without being tested. And those who shine the brightest are often the ones who have endured the darkest nights. But here's what separates the strong from the rest. While others curse the storm, the strong man learns to dance in the rain. While others see obstacles, he sees opportunity. While others break down, he breaks through. Understand this. Life will not wait for you to feel ready. It will not hand you guarantees. There will be days you question your own worth. There will be moments so heavy you feel as if you are drowning. But if in those moments you remind yourself, I was built for this, something begins to shift, not outside you, but within you. The strongest people in the world didn't wake up strong. They were forced to become strong. Through pain, through betrayal, through failure, they were thrown into the fire, and instead of letting it consume them, they let it purify them. I want to tell you something, and I need you to listen carefully. The pain you are experiencing right now is not punishment. It is preparation. The struggle is not here to destroy you. It's here to strengthen you. You're being stretched, shaped, and sharpened, and you cannot rush this process. It's easy to talk about strength when life is easy. It's easy to smile when the sun is shining. But true strength is revealed when you've lost everything you thought you couldn't live without. And yet you're still breathing, still walking, still believing. The world may never know the battles you've fought in silence, but you know. You've cried when no one was watching. You've carried burdens no one offered to lift, and yet here you are, you didn't give up. You didn't fold. That is strength. The strongest people are not those who shout the loudest, but those who endure the longest. Not those who demand attention, but those who quietly keep moving forward, even when their heart is breaking. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to refuse to quit. The man who refuses to quit becomes unstoppable. When fear knocks, courage must answer. When doubt creeps in, faith must speak louder. When weakness whispers, determination must rise, because it's not your circumstances that define you. It's how you respond to them. You have power within you that you've barely tapped into. You have a reservoir of resilience that hardship has yet to bring to the surface. Life is not waiting on a miracle. It's waiting on you to believe again, to fight again, to stand again. Stop waiting for the storm to pass. Learn to walk through it. Stop praying for easy roads. Pray for stronger legs. You do not grow by avoiding pressure. You grow by embracing it. There is a version of you stronger, wiser, bolder, waiting on the other side of this trial, but you don't become that version without being tested. You don't rise without resistance, and let me tell you this, if you are facing something right now that seems impossible, it's because something within you is ready to evolve. Life doesn't present battles to the weak. It chooses the strong. You've been chosen not because you're weak, but because you can handle it. The enemy of your destiny is not outside of you. It's the voice that says, I can't. Kill that voice. Replace it with, I will, I must, I was born for this. Because the moment you decide that quitting is not an option, the game changes, your energy changes, your reality changes. This is not the time to pity yourself. This is not the season for excuses. You were not placed here to live a small life. You were placed here to become a warrior of purpose. Every tear you've cried has been watering the seed of strength within you. Every setback was a setup for something greater. You've got to stop waiting for someone to come rescue you. No one is coming. You've got to become your own rescue. The strength you're looking for is already within you, but it will only show up after you act like it's there. The pain you feel, use it. The betrayal, let it teach you. The fear, make it fuel. The wound, let it become the place where the light enters. You are not a victim. You are not helpless. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a force, a spirit, a miracle in motion, and nothing can stop a man who refuses to stop. So walk forward even if your knees shake. Speak boldly even if your voice trembles. Take action even if your hands are trembling. Strength is not about being fearless. It's about moving forward despite the fear. And every time you keep going when you want to quit, you build a new layer of strength. Every time you say not today to defeat, you build another level of power. Until one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just survive, you conquered. You became the storm. You became the fire. You became the very force that once threatened to destroy you. And then you'll no longer fear any situation, because you'll know you can face anything and still rise. Let me know if you'd like this edited for a specific audience, like students, entrepreneurs, or spiritual seekers. You've got to understand, strength is not something you wait to feel. It's something you decide to be. It's a commitment, a daily choice, a sacred vow between who you are now and who you're destined to become. You don't grow stronger by staying comfortable. You grow stronger every time you take a step into the unknown, every time you keep moving with tears in your eyes, every time you stand firm while the winds of life try to blow you down. Let people doubt you. Let them question your timing, your ability, even your sanity, because they can only see the surface. They don't know the fire that's been burning in your belly since the day you chose not to settle. They weren't there when you whispered, "I'll make it," with nothing but a cracked voice and a fragile heartbeat. They didn't feel the weight you carried and still carry with quiet strength. You don't owe the world explanations for your resilience. You don't need permission to become who you were born to be. You don't have to shrink to fit anyone's comfort zone. You don't have to explain why you're still standing when everything around you says you shouldn't be. Just keep walking, and don't just walk. Walk with power. Walk with purpose. Walk with the unshakable belief that every scar you've earned was a lesson, and every lesson is a stepping stone to the next level of your life. You've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because there isn't one. The strength you want is revealed in action, in pushing forward when you don't feel ready, in showing up when everything in you wants to hide, in taking the hit and still swinging back. Life will try to break you, but you don't have to let it, because inside you is a force far greater than any force outside of you. The great ones, the truly powerful, are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who were underestimated, overlooked, and counted out, but kept going anyway. They are the ones who cried in silence, but rose in strength. They bled behind closed doors, but smiled in public. They were attacked, doubted, dismissed, but they never surrendered. You think strength looks loud and proud. No, real strength is quiet. It's silent endurance. It's the soul that refuses to die when everything says it should. It's the faith to believe in the unseen, the will to keep fighting when the reward is nowhere in sight, the decision to build when everything's been torn down. The strong don't just survive pain. They use it. They channel it. They convert it into power, because the fire that burns within them is hotter than the fire around them. That's the secret. It's not the absence of struggle. It's the mastery of struggle. It's not dodging difficulty. It's facing it head, on with your head high and your spirit unshaken. And I'll tell you this, the more you stretch yourself through discomfort, the less life can scare you. When you train your mind to remain steady in the chaos, you become untouchable. When your soul is anchored to something deeper than circumstance, no wave can sweep you away. You've got to train yourself every day. Strength isn't built in a single decision. It's carved through repetition, through choosing discipline over excuse, through waking up with intention, through taking responsibility for your life even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Most people will give up when it gets hard. They'll tell themselves maybe it wasn't meant to be, and not you. You were meant to face this, meant to feel this, meant to rise from this. Don't envy those who have it easy. Envy those who stayed faithful when nothing was going right, who kept building when there was no applause, who stayed kind in a world that tried to turn them bitter. Because that is real strength, the strength to remain rooted when life tries to rip you out of the ground. Let pain shape you, not define you. Let challenges refine you, not confine you. Let failure teach you, not stop you. Every hard thing you've faced has brought you one step closer to discovering the champion within. So when you feel tired, good, that means you're moving. When you're uncomfortable, excellent, that means you're growing. When you're afraid, perfect, that means you're alive and evolving. You weren't meant to stay the same. Strength demands transformation. Train your mind to love the hard path. Train your heart to endure seasons of uncertainty. Because nothing worth having comes from ease. Your future self is watching, and every moment you choose persistence over panic, discipline over distraction, faith over fear, you're building something that cannot be taken from you. And make no mistake, the world is watching too, not the one that judges or gossips or compares, but the world you're meant to impact. There are people whose lives will be touched because you didn't quit. People who need to see that it's possible to rise after falling, to thrive after breaking. Your story, written in perseverance, will give others permission to believe again, so carry your burden with pride. Wear your scars like armor. Keep walking through the fire. Keep climbing the mountain. Keep showing life that you can't be broken. Not now, not ever. Here's something powerful that begins to happen when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to make of me? Because in that moment, you stop being a victim of life and you become a student of it. And the student who learns the lesson becomes the master of the moment. You want to be strong in any situation. Then you must learn to extract meaning from your mess, to pull strength from your suffering, and to stand tall in situations where most people would stay down. This is the great secret of every champion, every builder of empires, every man or woman who shaped history. They didn't allow the situation to speak louder than their vision. They didn't allow temporary discomfort to stop eternal purpose. They decided that nothing outside them would be stronger than the fire inside them. When the world gets cold, become the warmth. When the world grows dark, become the light. When the world grows cruel, become the example of what love, strength, and discipline can look like. That's what the strong do. They do not mirror their environment. They shape it. They do not wait for permission. They move with conviction, and even when the odds are stacked against them, they do not bow. They do not beg, they build. Your pain does not make you weak. Your struggle does not make you less than. They are proof that you are on the path, that life is shaping you, molding you, stretching you into someone who can handle more than you ever imagined. So embrace the pressure, learn to welcome it, because the same pressure that crushes the weak is the pressure that polishes diamonds. Every day is a test of your mindset, a test of your endurance, a test of your belief, and when life whispers, you can't take this, your response must be, watch me, not because you're arrogant, but because you've decided who you are. You've decided that you will not be moved. You've decided that the only option is forward, and in that decision is power. In that decision, you tap into a higher force, the strength that comes not just from muscle or will, but from vision, from purpose, from the understanding that your life has meaning beyond the moment you're in. Strength, real strength, is fueled by purpose, and purpose never comes to the comfortable. It is born in difficulty. It is shaped in pain. It is defined in the fires of life. There is a strength that comes when you stop chasing ease and start chasing excellence. When you stop avoiding the hard path and start choosing it. Because once you've walked through fire and not been consumed, once you've faced giants and kept moving forward, you are no longer afraid. Not because the danger disappears, but because you're different now. Your core is unshakable, your focus is unbreakable, your will is immovable, you want to be unstoppable, then fall in love with the process, fall in love with the grind, fall in love with getting up when you're tired, speaking truth when it's uncomfortable, doing the right thing when it costs you. Because the person who does what is necessary, even when it's hard, that is the person who cannot be defeated. You don't need motivation, you need resolve, you don't need everything figured out, you just need to take the next step in faith. And if that step feels heavy, take it anyway, because every step you take with discipline builds strength no one can see until the day you break through. And hear me, you will break through, but it won't be luck. It won't be chance. It will be because you stayed faithful in the unseen, because you worked in silence, because you carried your vision through storms and setbacks and sleepless nights. The breakthrough doesn't come to the strongest. It comes to the most relentless. So keep your eyes locked on the vision, not the problem. Keep your heart anchored in truth, not emotions. Emotions will lie to you. They'll say it's too hard, too late, too much, but truth reminds you. You've been through worse and still made it. And you're still breathing, still climbing, still becoming. The moment you realize that no external condition has the power to define your internal commitment, that's when everything shifts. You stop waiting for circumstances to improve. You stop needing the situation to cooperate. You just move, you just build, you just become, because no matter what's thrown your way, you've already made the decision. I will not bend, I will not break. I will not back down, not because life is easy, but because I've become someone who doesn't require ease to be excellent. So now the question is not can you endure? The question is, will you rise? Because you've already been through enough to know what breaking feels like. You've already been tested, stretched, and shaken, but you are still here, and that means something. That means the fight in you is greater than the storm around you. That means you are not finished yet. From this moment forward, don't just survive situations. Dominate them. Don't just face adversity. Conquer it. When life demands your strength, meet it with conviction. When fear tries to speak, silence it with faith. And when the world pushes against you, push harder. Because strength isn't what you show when things are easy. It's what you decide to be when everything tells you to quit. You were not created to be average. You are not called to live a life of retreat. There is a fire in you, put there for a reason, and if you trust it, if you honor it, if you fight for it with everything you have, there is no force on earth that can stop you. Become strong in any situation, not someday, not when it's easy, now, because now is all you have, and it is more than enough.